I didn't cut my hair, my fro just eats itself every now and then. This is episode 6 of From Self-Doubt to Self-Publish. This is my weekly vlog on what I do as far as a self-published author to have success in it, not have to work a 9 to 5. Now, everybody's situation is different, so I just want to say this isn't a one-size-fits-all way about going about being a self-published author. This is just my particular way on how I'm doing it. And with the last video, I was saying I was taking a week off. So this week there was a lot of reflection, and with that came about this episode, which is titled Structure. Now, when I think of structure, I think about, buildings. Of course, there's a positive and negative aspect to there's a duality to almost anything. A lot that came about during this week of not going out at all was just getting the structure, and what that reminded me is, if you see water, let's say it spills on the counter, on that flat surface, it's going every which way. And there's nothing to contain it, there's no structure. So because of that, it's flowing all over the place. And so that's how I felt going into this, was that I was that water and I was just everywhere. And with going about it, there's stuff that you learn along the way, and that's why I wanted to make these weekly vlogs, because I do learn things pretty much every day, every week, that has helped me, that I'm able to tie it back to my book. When I did finally go out this week, I had a radio interview with Trinity University Radio with Jeanette Menez, and it was a very, very good interview, short and sweet, and we got to talk about a couple of things as far as upcoming projects, how I came to writing, and I'll just play a couple of clips from it.
91.7 KRTU. If you're just now joining us, we're here live with Kevin Prince, and we are talking about ideas of illusion. And thank you so much for coming onto the show and reading. I've always wanted to have an author come and do that, and Kevin, you've been a part of San Antonio's art scene for so long, but I've known you as a musician. And then you wrote a book.
Yeah.
So tell me, was this something that you've always wanted to do?
Well, when I was little, in elementary, first grade, I would write a lot of books, and just little flip books as far as with construction paper. I would read a lot of R.L. Stein, and Scholastic Book Fair was the place to be. And I just caught the music bug, and for some reason, I don't know why I felt like I couldn't do both, but a couple of years ago, I had stopped eating meat and lost like 100 pounds, and so during that process, the want and the passion to actually write a full-fledged book came out, and this was actually my second written one. I wrote one first before that one, but I never did anything with it. So yeah.
And are you planning on writing more in the future?
Yeah, I have 3 other ones that My name is Kevin Prince. I am the author of the psychological thriller Ideas of Illusion. It is a fiction book that takes place in the year 2025 in San Antonio. So let me get a little synopsis for y'all before I actually read a little portion of it. What happens when your dream becomes a nightmare and your nightmare becomes your reality? That is the case for business owner and software developer Daniel King. Once on top of the world of online security with his program bubble, he finds himself watching his hard works crumble beneath his feet. A life-changing encounter with a mysterious woman sends off a domino effect for Daniel's life, bringing more business than he can imagine. Now financially. At the end of the radio interview, we gave away one free book to the first caller. What was interesting about that was after the first caller won, there was still people calling in. That made me feel real good. Afterwards, I went to Hondros and had my books out there.
Without a sound, yo, I watch it, learn from those who crash and burn, feel their head they turn and see what went wrong, so I don't do the same, look for someone to blame, shower in my own pain, singing the same song.
Singing the same song. Stop singing the same song. Better run, run, run. Move with your heart and soon you'll become one with the stars. Singing the same song. Stop singing the same song. Better run, run, run. Move with your heart and soon you'll become one with the stars.
When I think about structure, I think about when I was creating my book, and even though it wasn't a perfect structure, it was a foundation, it was something to at least start. And with structuring that book, if we can look at the water as the first draft, and you have that water and all those words, they're not in chapters possibly, or even if they are in chapters, maybe the chapters are rearranged and things like that. The way that I like to write is just free and not really try to worry about where things are going per se, just have a kind of rough draft of the idea that I want for each chapter, and then I just kind of write and just continue writing until I either hit a word count limit that I set up for myself, or until there's just no more for me to write. And so with having that structure, I was able to go back through and get it to the foundation to actually build a very strong piece of several drafts to the point that it was a finished product. So having that structure, I think it plays a valuable role in maneuvering through writing a book as well as maneuvering through life. With this time that I do have there, in some weeks, some days, there was no structure. I would kind of get up and have a rough idea on what I wanted to accomplish for that day, but I wasn't really focused on structure. And structure isn't anything that'll contain you unless you let it. So I think that there's transitions that you go through to where a structure would be very beneficial for you, just like being free would be very beneficial for you. And I think sometimes, just as humans, we can sometimes go to the extreme on one aspect and not really think about it in the other, or try to find that balance or middle ground. So, on the same token, being free, like I said, with writing it, I was that water when it came to writing with no structure. But I personally like doing that when it comes to the writing. It's just the next part of it is also laying down that structure and getting it, organized to where it starts looking like something. And Saturday was the big day, the big signing at Dead Tree Books. That was super fun. Definitely big thank you to Dead Tree Books and to Go Kenyo Live at Kenyo HQ, Tennessee, and Vincent for doing acoustic backup for Lena C. And everybody that came out. We got a good couple of books. I read a couple of chapters. The illustrator, shout out to Rabbit Rye for coming out. She was explaining a couple of things about the book as well, as far as her idea with the cover, and it was an all-around great experience. Later on that night, I ended up going out, and then Sunday, day of reflection. So it was overall, this week was amazing. And like I said, one of the big things was structure and moving forward. Even right now, I'm formulating a structure as far as moving forward with things that I want to accomplish on a weekly, monthly, and yearly basis. So, for all those self-published authors out there, or even published authors, leave a comment. Let me know some of the routines that you use to stay on top of writing, and any other tips. And anyone out there who is wanting to self-publish, drop a comment if you have any questions that I haven't covered within any of these videos yet, and it may be the next episode. So again, my name is Kevin, Dab Show Creations here, and what I got coming up this week is this Friday at Rosella Coffee. There's gonna be an open mic poetry event hosted by Vocab, also including me as well as Lena C. We're gonna be doing some live reading out there. And then also October 7th, I'll be setting up a table at the first San Antonio Zine Fest. Links for both of those events will be in the description section of this video, as well as the link for my book Ideas of Illusion, a psychological thriller that takes place in the year 2025 in San Antonio. Some epic stuff going on there. And thank y'all for tuning in. Peace. Psh, 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 psh.